Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your host, DB Smiley, and I am joined by my friend Decade. Decade, how you doing tonight?
I am doing pretty good. Just gotten off work and looking to catch some Heroes of the Storm games.
Yeah, and here we are in Division B East, the beast of divisions, as we see Winston Churchill Manatees, a returning veteran team from Division C last season, who really got better the further the season got along, and they will be competing against Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. At least that's what I'm assuming it stands for. They told me it might be something dirtier. I'm not even going to try to work it out, so I'm just going to call him Sergeant Pepper. And good morning, good morning. Looking forward to this game. I wonder if there are any Lucy in the Sky with Diamond players on this team's.
Well, we do see the Maya band come out first. Now, we are playing on the most recent patch, so there have a lot of changes rolled out. So we see some different bands. Typically, a lot of players like the band Phoenix now, but after the nerfs here, we'll see if he actually comes through the pick and ban phase.
And, it's interesting to ban Maiev. She's a very good combo hero. She likes to get by with a little help from her friends. I'm going to do this all night. I don't give a fuck.
So Phoenix does come out for the ban here. So I guess team's still warning right even after the changes.
Well, and it's also, I think you don't have practice playing against him, and I think even with the nerfs, people still think he'll be drafted. And you got to learn how to kind of play against him. His auto attack damage is pretty explosive. And not even, like, that's not even a pun for his AoE. Like, his volley mode is actually really high DPS. But it's going to be a garage pick first. Very good on this map at times. He's great at pickoffs, but he can struggle to get the critical flip on the shrine phase. It's kind of hard without you, just all the minions around it. It can be very difficult.
And what I love about most about Garrosh is when you pick him as a hero, you're not really showing much to the composition. He's a really flexible tank that kind of fits into any comp, whether you're going for an aggressive dive comp or you're maybe looking to peel for your carries. You can fling them out of a fight. You can fling your team into a fight. He really can work with any strategy.
Yeah. Gonna be countered by Blaze Stukov. Blaze, incredibly strong solo laner and very strong on the map. Stukov, obviously, just a very strong support at the moment. Now, Fury got some nerfs today. Stukov didn't, which keeps DB Smiley happy. But I guess one of my favorite things about Garrosh, like right before you die, when you have that 49 armor, if you have like an Uther and he gives you 15, you got to think like, oh, hey, when I'm 64 armor, I'm pretty hard to kill.
Oh, yeah. I think at that point,
I worked for that one. I worked for that one. I'm getting better. Huh?
These puns are laying back to back. I am just not prepared tonight. I'm not brushed up on my material. I didn't know tonight was going to be stand up, so I do apologize. My material isn't as snuff.
But it is Sonya coming in. Sonya, very good healer. I actually played a Barbarian Diablo. Called her Rita. Lovely Rita. And then a Malfurion coming out. Also a pretty strong support.
I think even after the changes, I mean, he's still as good as he was even before. I think as a pick.
Well, he was always picked primarily based on utility. He was just a very strong throughput healer. They nerfed his baseline throughput a bit, but he still has a lot of utility. And that's kind of a day in the life of Malfurion, just being a utility player and focusing on that aggressively.
And then going full Moonfire build and killing the enemy at level 1 with your increased Moonfire damage. Right?
So that actually doesn't increase Moonfire damage. It increases auto attack damage against people recently Moonfired.
It speaks through Moonfire. Past it. So we see Chromie Band come out. Great band on shrines. Usually really good at poking down, really good at sieging. I guess they're really fearing between the Garrosh and the Sonya, they've got a really good front line to kind of peel or just kind of be a threat for the Chromie. And here we now have the Diablo band, so removing the hard initiate.
Good Diablo band. And I should note with Malfurion, like his Meta level 1 talent is the one that increases his movement speed for every target he has a regrowth on. It kind of lets him like avoid enemies, being for the benefit of Mr. Kite. That's what I call Malfurion, Mr. Kite. It's a really good talent. Dude, I'm nailing this Beatles trivia, man. I am nailing this Beatles trivia.
I feel so embarrassed. I've seen, like, as a kid, that's all I went to go see for my birthdays was Beatle impersonator bands. My dad's a huge Beatle fan, and I'm being put to shame. If he was watching this stream right now, he would probably want to disown me.
I mean, you know, it sounds like you need to work on fixing a hole in your life. I'm actually running out of songs at this point, by the way. Like, I mean, I can't just use a pun with the band's name, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I can't reprise that. Hey, I may actually be out of songs now. I think I am, yeah. I'm out of songs from the album. I've used them all, guys. I've even used reprise. That is how far I committed to this.
We're in for the long haul for tonight. I think we're in for a long haul game. Like the poke coming from on Winston Churchill Manatees. I mean, Kael'thas with Hanzo, both are apparently elves now for whatever reason. Hanzo became an elf, so we've got the elf squad rolling out. And
somebody paying the real money for the good skins. But no, Kael'thas, Hanzo. So Kael'thas, great clear on the map, and then Hanzo, the best ranged assassin. One of the things Malfurion struggles with now is that poke damage. He does need to be able to position, not aggressively, but up a bit in order to be able to get those Moonfire heals. That Kael'thas makes it very difficult to do it, and then the Hanzo does a lot of good single target damage. Malfurion's better at kind of countering like a lot of AoE sustained damage. Now Hanzo has that as well, but mainly that main target focus, I think, onto like a Sonya can be pretty damaging. But last two picks coming in, Greymane Tracer. I like those picks a lot. I love both the picks.
Safe, consistent. They can really backliners like Hanzo and Kael'thas are basically paper when it comes to dealing with the Tracer. They have an extremely hard time dealing with them, and right now I think that they're going to have to go for a super hard CC tank to protect their backline, because Tracer is just going to run right past Stukov, right past Blaze on top of KT and Hanzo, and just win fights just single-handedly off that. I wouldn't even be surprised maybe if we see a surprise Sonya pick for Leap to fall up into CC, or just like a really nice like Garrosh throw into the rest of the team with a Sonya spin. And there it is. The tank with the peels for days, the CC immunity, the Shrine's god herself, Johanna, coming out.
Yeah, Johanna, very strong. I actually like it as a way to counter Sonya Whirlwind. And because of the heavy focus on auto attack damage, I think it's the right choice here into the Greymane Tracer. That said, overall, I really just like I like both drafts a lot here. I think both teams. This is the first game last match that I casted solo. A bit awkward draft. Second game draft was much cleaner. This was a very considerate draft by both teams. I am a bit worried because, you know, what does Sgt. Pepper want to do? They want to separate someone with Garrosh and blow them up. But if the blind comes in when all your damage is Sonya Greymane Tracer, you know, you have a bit of burst with Dark Flight and with Ancient Spear and Slam, but it may not be enough if Stukov is able to get a trait heal off. That said, Stukov is not the best healer at saving someone from burst. If they don't already have the heal on them, it can be very difficult. But that said, Dem Roots Do from Stukov, the root can actually kill Garrosh, even with his armor.
I'd just be more worried, like Tracer, for a blessed shield fall into a dragon arrow. You're dead. You're literally dead. You're not going to recall out of that one. Between the Gale that you have from the another one from Kael'thas, he can knock you up right into the CC. So it's a literal train they can run on if they find a target.
Yeah. All right, but we're going to start introducing the veteran returners from Season 3. Now joining us Season 4, moving up to B. It's going to be K-Wolf 55 on that Johanna. It's going to be Nathan on the Hanzo. Slithreent going to be playing Kael'thas. Cheekies on the Stukov, and up in the top lane we have Grover on Blaze. Go ahead and introduce for us Sgt. Pepper's... Oh, why am I blanking now? I've done so well. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band. I don't know why I blanked on Lonely Hearts. Go ahead.
So we have Egg Rolls 1, 2, 3 on the Greymane. We have Die Fools on Tracer, which probably she'll end up killing everyone anyway, so fair name. We have Ulpro on Garrosh, and we have a BKL 21996. That's
I'm going to call him Bickle. His name is now Bickle. And then
Shardy Waffle. Okay,
we're just going to leave that name where it lies. which is exactly what I would do if I saw such a waffle. Anyway, stepping up now, K-Wolf getting a good condemn off. Wave clear advantage so far, favoring, but a good silence turnaround. Good damage onto Joe. But already Kael'thas clearing up this bot lane. So, could get a bit ahead in Soak. Already 2 minions lost. Tracer going to rotate down, make sure they don't lose any more, but a bit slower on this rotation, leaving Garrosh mid to make sure they don't lose any minions mid.
Oh, could Garrosh get caught here. He's got the condemn coming out. Doesn't have CC. Oh, not much fallout from the stuns from Johanna, but he seems like he's going to be okay for now, but definitely chunked.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm not a fan of these just split rotations. We have 2 in the bottom side. Usually on Infernal Shrines, it's all about playing as 4, playing as a team to rotate from mid to bottom.
Well, I think what they're recognizing is that they don't have the wave clear to keep up with the Kael'thas, and especially once level 4 hits, when Hanzo is able to get his explosive arrow, they won't be able to keep up. So they're just wanting to use Greymane to get the camp early. They're at least managing to not lose minions outside of like those first kind of 2 or 3 they lost. So while I agree they're going to get behind in rotations the way they're keeping this up, I do like the decision to have Greymane peel out to get the camp, because now someone's going to have to stay mid. It's going to allow them to pressure a bit more in the rotation. It's you know, a little bit of this for a little bit of that.
Oh, but here, are they going to go for an aggressive play on the Kael'thas here? They do have line of sight of him. They could see him rotating up here. Yep, looks like they're pinging it out, trying to go for the pick, but looks like Slitherine isn't one for tricks or being caught out in traps.
No. Go ahead.
Meanwhile, on top, I mean, Sonya is just utterly crushing this Blaze out of lane. He's already
Grover
tapped
in
once.
a bit of trouble. Ooh, almost. The slam killed. If one more auto attack came in. Grover playing risky there, and actually a chase here by Tracer, looking for the kill onto Nathan. Gonna let Nathan walk away, or is the pulse bomb there? Oh, pulse bomb misses. A little bit of miss. Some soak being picked up here by Slitherine on bottom in the meantime. Some good pressure, though, in the lanes, and I do like that Sergeant Pepper pressuring it aggressively. They need to get these picks. That's kind of where their comp strength lies. Haven't been able to secure a kill yet, but they're at least keeping Winston, Churchill, Manatees honest.
Oh, for sure. I think they're keeping them anonymous in the transition lanes. Tracer's doing exactly what she needs to do. Focus someone down as they're rotating from lane to lane, make them recall, and then have them have a man advantage here every time that they play in the lane.
Now, the wave only just now being picked up by Winston, Churchill, Manatees, the camp, siege camp. But I actually kind of like getting the siege camp late, because you can, without leaving a fight, clear this top lane if needed. So it might actually force someone to head mid unless they're willing to give up the structure on the side of Sergeant Pepper. Sergeant Pepper, though, already set up on the point with that Sonya. They're definitely going to get a really big lead here in the minion count. Already up to about 20. They hit the halfway mark, but now Winston, Churchill, Manatees have cleared up the Bruiser camp, and they're ready to step up. And they aren't slouches themselves. They have the Joanna. They have the Blaze.
The front line here, and it looks like root down on Malfurion. This is honestly where I'd look to engage right now, as Winston Churchill's. And it looks like they do have eyes on the Tracer.
Big silence onto Garrosh, forcing him back so he can't step up to get a flip. And now it looks like we're going to have to see a bit of a backup here by Sergeant Pepper. Sergeant Pepper, though, only needing 8 more. Can they snipe them? Sonya has been clearing this mid lane. She could come up and use a Whirlwind. There's a big 3-man condemn now. The Root trying to buy some space.
Tracer right on top of
Kael'thas. Drops the Pulse Bomb. Tracer able to rewind out. That is the first kill. Meanwhile, in that process, Sergeant Pepper does pick up the Punisher, and this is the Arcane variety. Gonna secure the kill onto Joanna as well. Great start here. And actually, they're gonna be able to come down and clear out this Khazra camp before it does any real damage. So, you know, ultimately
honestly,
playing that very well.
Things well done. Very clean fights. Tracer, that was a perfect eye, catching the exact target she needed to in the middle of that hectic fight. Picked him off right out of the way, and then just ended up securing them the objective, and also 2 kills there in total.
Yep, and Tracer now playing a bit aggressive, needs to be a bit careful, dodges the charge in by Blaze, but Fort doesn't go down. It takes about half damage. They did manage to get full front wall, but about a level of experience lead now on the side of Sergeant Pepper, doing quite nicely.
Now, we do have Greymane eyeing the Kael'thas here. I wonder if he's going to go for an aggressive play on some. Looks like he's just going to go for the wave here.
Yeah, I think he's playing it safe. Interesting choice into Kael'thas, because he could trade positively, but there is always the potential for gravity lapse And you don't want to be on a stream getting Gravity Lapse turnaround. Kel'Thas
Another
into
aggressive invade here. Tracer's got eyes on Hanzo.
Yeah, she's trying to pressure out, but there really isn't enough pressure to actually take this camp. Although Stukov now eating a Pulse Bomb. Tracer all over and actually covered.
Wow.
Getting taken out here by Garrosh and Sonya.
Oh, just
and actually now there's still a dog up, so they can take this Bruiser camp. It's a very good aggression paying off here, but they're not going to do it.
Respawn timers are just coming up, and they don't have that far walk to the lane, so I think they're just going to take their advantage, take the lead, and see if they can just end up taking objectives, both the sieges on bottom, and maybe even potentially the enemy sieges on the left side of the map as well.
We'll see how they play it. Already, Greymane just burning this siege. That's, with Greymane and Sonya, they have absolutely fantastic camp clear for this map, so they could invade aggressively and quickly. K-Wolf on Joanna is hard to kill, but not really going to be able to counter 3 people. But here comes a rotation of 3 people down to potentially defend this camp. Blaze actually pushing in pretty effectively against Garrosh. Not a good
walking
matchup.
In by himself here. Still has trade
up,
so he should be able to make it out.
Yeah, Iron Skin going to save it. Good silence there, just root missed. But actually, if anything, they're buying time for Blaze to get value into this Garrosh, and it's actually translated into a tower so far. Sonya, though, grabbing this bot siege camp, could now rotate up and help invade here. See where this goes. Level 10s.
Full level advantage, and we do see Leap here, just as predicted, so they are definitely looking for a really aggressive all-in.
Yeah, very aggressive all-in. They have to go for the throat, they have the Quantum Spike, they have the Twilight Dream. So they have a lot of ways to kill that guy, whoever that guy happens to be. So we'll see who they try to target. Could be Hanzo, but I'd expect Kel'Thas. He's not very mobile, pretty easy to blow up. We'll see where it goes.
Oh, they see Hanzo here.
They do see Hanzo, but they're not going to be able to dive into the fort just yet. Still, though, with that level 10 advantage, they are going to push in a bit aggressively, force a late rotation towards mid, and actually now already level 11, so they're going to have the 4% scaling, even though the heroics are going to be equalized before the shrine starts.
Now, if I were Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club here, I would instantly want to pop the shrine as soon as it spawns, try and still take advantage. Oh, looks like 10's already popped. So
yeah, like I said, before it came up, they were gonna have it there. It's a Blessed Shield. It's the massive shove. I don't like that. As much dive as there is, you're only gonna push one target away.
And even so, Tracer really hard to hit with the massive shove, and that's really the target you're going to want to keep away from the team. I think Flailing Strike would have been way more beneficial, but we'll see how it plays out in these fights here.
Well, it can also clear out the bunker, so if you have to save someone in the bunker and the bunker's about to drop, they're very low. You can Flailing Swipe to make sure they get out. I really would have wanted to have seen Flailing Swipe, especially because of the map. The map actually allows Flailing Swipe to be used to actually kind of finish a shrine. I've actually done that before.
I can imagine it's got a wide arc. There's actually pretty okay damage too, even though you don't really have much control.
But K-Wolf stepping up. That living bomb spread doing quite a bit of damage before this fight can get too far underway. Old Pro already chunked down to about half health, but that's just more armor. Ooh, big silence. There is the bunker trying to just zone off this point. Maybe came in, though, before there was really any major threat. But Sergeant Pepper so far has been zoned out. It's buying time to equalize the lane pressure. Garrosh, though, topping top, gonna come in and join this back up. Fort goes down to the Bruiser camp up in the top. Here comes Garrosh, looking on the back, trying to look. There's the flip on the Kel'Thas, into the stun. Here comes the taunt, go for the throat, gonna secure a kill. Twilight Dream also gonna secure a kill onto Joanna, and Grover gonna be the next to fall on the Blaze. And Sergeant Pepper just executed exactly like they thought we were going to. Pick out the Kel'Thas and destroy it. And in the process, he managed to grab both the warriors off the Twilight Dream. So great Twilight Dream there on the side of Bickle. Bickle, well done. I told you I was going to call him Bickle.
Well, Bickle, I mean, played excellent there. Roots were it was just the perfect shotgun. Sonya Leap came out at almost an ultimate timing right into the fling. It was just ragdoll physics everywhere. Their team literally was obliterated at the start of that fight. And with Taunt on being on such a low cooldown along with Leap, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at this Punisher here if they would have a second opportunity for this. I'd go for the sidewall here to continue to push with the Punisher, but I guess they're just looking to play safe here.
They are playing safe, but I think they're playing too safe with the kind of comp they have. They do have the 3-level advantage, but I absolutely thought they could have broken out the sidewall and followed up on the Punisher. Still, they're going to back off here. Ooh, there's a stun on the Garrosh, just a little parting gift. Sonya going to grab this Bruiser. More denial than actually going to be able to get pressure
BM
off it.
spray towards the end.
There is a bit of a spray. What is that spray? That's kind of like one of the emblems. Not normally one of the BM sprays.
It's a StarCraft one, I think. I could be wrong.
I actually don't know any of the like happy sprays, but they are going to try to separate K-Wolf. Joanna being the choice to blow up, and, you know, when you have that much damage, I guess you can kill anyone you want. You can do anything you can set your mind to, even bursting down a Joanna, impressively enough.
With enough percent damage, anything is possible.
That Quantum Spike doing quite a bit. You got the Grey Mane. It's just a lot of damage. Evading now the Siege, and Sergeant Pepper is just taking over the map at the moment. They are playing extremely well here. Gonna move in, clear up this nice tasty soak on the bot lane. Num 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 num. Just continuing to work their way towards that level 16, which is a big level. For Malfurion especially. His healing throughput can really just go through the roof there.
Oh yeah, I honestly, everything up from here is only going to get better. Tracer, I think, hits one of her biggest power spikes.
Yeah, her straight damage spike no matter what talent she takes. Yeah.
Especially with perfect timing. I personally prefer bullet spray after the recent changes of reworks. It's really good with timing with perfect timing, so that she can have like a huge amount of bonus damage on 2 targets. But honestly, anything's great.
And right now, you had the briefest window of equal talent tiers, but just nothing can be done with it because of all the lane pressure. And so now it is level 16 versus level 13.
And we have Alpha Killer coming out from Greymane, so really no one is safe. If someone's taunted, they're pretty much done. They're done.
I mean, that is going to absolutely chunk Blaze and Joanna so hard. Sleight of
coming out
hand, so just kind of the more straightforward, reliable damage rather than saying something like, you know, the perfect reload or anything like that. I respect it.
I think it's definitely a safer talent choice. Obviously, for me, I'm not the best Tracer player in the world. I kind of get frantic in team fights and don't always time perfectly to get that bonus damage. So rather than having to worry about it, I'll sometimes go with this talent. It's just an easy way to get bonus damage out without having to really be cognizant of what you're doing. Yeah,
and really your attention is just to reel as resources your mana. I mean, that's something that you kind of have to learn as you play. You can't keep track of everything. So try to limit the things you need to keep track of. And so, yeah, I definitely like the choice. Shrine going to be up in 4, and Fort just went down, so this is very much a threat to end the video game. And knowing they can't fight, it looks like we're going to see the members of Winston Churchill Manatees just try to push top, try to find a fort to equalize this XP before they have to deal with this frozen Punisher.
Here, this could pretty much spell disaster for them here at the end. One of these fights that happens on bottom lane, if they get another catch like they've been getting so far, as we've seen the trend of it pretty much is going to be a closeout. And I don't really know if there's really a way from the counter. The one kind of drawback of playing Stukov, you don't have a cleanse.
Right.
So comps like this that run a lot of taunts, a lot of hard crowd control,
a lot of single target focus, yeah. Because even if you manage to save a target by having their heal on them and trait, okay, now your trait's down for 16 seconds. Good luck with this team fight. And I love this decision. They saw, okay, you're gonna push to equalize XP. Well, we're gonna push to, you know, open up this Punisher, and now they can focus. They're gonna try to focus in on the Grover. There, Sonya jumping into the back, going for Nathan. Nathan does go down. And now Grover in a bit of an awkward spot as is K-Wolf, but they turn their attention straight on Keith. There's a flip on the Blaze, who just gets absolutely denied. Time Fool's a little bit low, has that living bomb, needs to back up, does survive. Both the damage a little bit low. Punisher, though, is going to enable them to just back up, give Malfurion time to heal people. A couple of Moonfires should help out with that, just what the doctor ordered. Half health Punisher, there's a flip. Joanna goes down. Oh my goodness, the kill potential has just absolutely been there. 10 kills to 0 heading into the end of this game.
When it rains, it pours when you pick a comp like this. If you get ahead, you're pretty much going to stay ahead throughout the entirety of the game. There's really,
Ooh.
honestly, with the comp that was drafted, there's not much you can do without a cleanse, without something to kind of prevent one target from being bursted. It spells game over for your team.
Yeah, and actually, like, I looked at the damage numbers right before the game ended. It was a pretty low damage game because when someone got separated, they just died. Like, there was no healing them, and that's, while Stukov is very popular and very meta, it is a weakness of his. And they didn't, they had the bunker there, which could have countered it, but it's just when someone dies that quick, it doesn't matter. So just Sergeant Pepper perfectly coordinated their blowups, and that is not a team I would want to play against.
That's
with the
not
way
a
they
tracer I
played.
want to play against. Oof, scary stuff. Like he, honestly, I want to pretty much give MVP to Dive Fools this game. I think every fight he focused exactly the target he needed to in each team fight. He had no tunnel vision. He knew exactly where to go for and knew how to gauge how much time. He knew how much damage he needed to do, how much time he needed to get out, and played it super safe and super controlled. So props to him.
Yep, and with that, we're going to take a brief break while we set up game number 2. We'll be right back with Winston Churchill Manatees versus Sergeant Pepper, the rematch. All right, and we are back here on the Nexus Gaming Series. Once again, DB Smiley, joined by Decade, casting map number 2 of Winston Churchill Manatees versus Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Sergeant Pepper, well, they definitely brought the pepper in the last game. They were just deleting people.
Pitch high. It was explosions left and right. Nobody was safe. Even your tanks couldn't hide from them.
No, I mean they anytime you just dive under a wall to separate and kill Joanna, you're just making a point. And they definitely made that point. We're gonna see if Winston Churchill Manatees, I've played against and casted them before. They can definitely run an execution comp as well. I'd like to see them try to move towards that. It's gonna be a Genji band. Genji very strong on this map, and then still Phoenix being banned. I kind of want to. Yeah, they're gonna go back to the Stukov right away. Now, granted, Stukov is even better on this map than he is on Infernal Shrines. But
now, for me personally, I'm not a fan of pick comps on this map. I just like like those slow burners. I like that. I like to basically pick the smooth
kind of
jazz
like Gul'dan Morales stuff, things like that. Not necessarily Morales, but yeah, I mean that style of very kind of slow, use the push, things like that. Yeah, gonna be with Sonya getting the solo lane early, getting a strong solo lane. Sonya doesn't really lose to anyone in lane, so it's a safe solo lane pick to make sure you have a good one.
Going with the good old standard. They're sticking with their go-tos here.
Same first 2 picks, I believe. Did they get Malfurion first, or did they get... No, I think they went Malfurion.
I think they drafted Garrosh and Sonya. You might be right on the Malfurion pick. I'd have to go take a look back, but no, I mean, we know Waffle can play a really good Sonya. He knows how to really execute those leaps, and Garrosh, he didn't look like any fool either that game. That's stunned to start off the level 10 fight with flinging Sonya into their team. That was really nice.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it immediately as soon as I see that garage again, my first thought if I'm Winston Churchill Manatees is
ban
well,
the gray
fuck.
main. Ban the gray main.
But well, so now one of the things that can counter Garrosh is just straight poke, make it unsafe for Garrosh to approach. So I actually wouldn't mind seeing a Chromie here. She's good on this map because of the defensibility. They're gonna go Zagara, which I don't like into Sonya. Like Sonya's
it's a skill-based matchup for me. It kind of depends on the player who's playing each. Now we know Waffle plays a good Sonya, but I don't know how confident he is in the Zagara matchup. Level 4 can be really deadly for Sonya because it's the stacks just roll right in for Zagara.
Well, so when we've seen like Gale Force kind of defined a lot of the meta on this map, both when it first came out with the 1-4, but then when they kind of adjusted into the 1-1-3. Like as a team, they've probably been more impactful on the meta of this map specifically than any other I can think of. Like, and when they went Zagara, they usually paired it with a Chromie, and that's kind of like with Jaina. I don't know if she has enough poke. It's certainly more reliable poke than Chromie. It's easier to hit. But normally when you have the Zagara, what you want to be able to do is kind of get that 1-1-3 where you can just pressure Zagara into lane and basically try to get 2 early forts to open up the map and just continue to split push. So we may see something like that direction.
I do like the ETC ban here. I think they recognize Ring of Frost is really good with Mosh. I like ETC in general for peel against Garrosh with the face melt. You can really knock him aside to make it able to get a fling off.
Well, and with the comp you have, you're not worried about a Diablo. Like you have a Garrosh Sonya. You're not really worried about Diablo. So the only way that they really win is by comboing up. So deny the guy who initiates the combos. I like it. Junkrat ban. Also like that ban a lot on this map.
Oh, he's one of my
well, and the double
favorites.
displacement with Garrosh Junkrat is just it's so mentally taxing to play against that it wears you down.
Junkrat in general wears you down anytime you play against him.
Well, I just mean from the mental aspect of like I have to watch my position perfectly the entire map all the time, no matter where I am. Let's see.
Now, I would not be surprised here if we see a Grayman again. He's a consistent damage.
Malfurion Hanzo, because you know, Hanzo can be good here. The very, very early game, you know, you're kind of a little bit behind just because you can't do the super wave clear super quick. But as soon as you hit level 4 with Explosive Arrow, you know, you're just one-shotting waves.
When you're running a Shimada, brother, you just can't lose. It just can't happen. It's foretold in the stars you'll win.
All right, so now into the Hanzo. What kind of tank do you want to go with?
I think they've been pigeonholed into Johanna once again, but instead
they're gonna go Diablo. This is, I mean, it can work if Diablo Maiev. Oh yeah, Maev's in the game. Sorry, I'm just so used to her being instantly banned. Maiev Diablo, that I actually really like. That is a lot with the Jaina. That is potential to wombo the hell out of people.
And Garrosh is really susceptible to magic damage. I mean, Diablo, Jaina, Maiev, all excellent magic dealers. So I think that's actually a pretty smart draft. Where I didn't even see it. Maybe I was just not looking in the right section of the heroes pool to pick a comp.
I mean, I didn't want them to necessarily get pigeonholed into Johanna, and I do like the Diablo, but this Diablo is going to have to be the most patient Diablo on the planet.
This is definitely going to be some chess over checkers play here for sure. Now, as their 5th pick, they pretty much have everything open. They have Medivh open still, which is obviously still a really strong pick even after the changes. But instead, opt for the Gul'dan, and we've got the smooth jazz comp, a real slow roller here. Nice poke, nice damage. Once they hit level 4, the pain really starts to come out.
I'm going to say it. I love that Gul'dan pick so hard. Because now you have just oodles of wave clear, but the other option it allows is now you can actually do a 1-1-3 with Hanzo being the rotator. Or you know, you could handle it a couple other ways, but that's what I would like to see because Hanzo's hyper mobility on this map with the ability to jump over walls. Plus, you have the Horrify, so when they try to land their wombo, nah, see ya, nerds. Horrify.
I, for one, love Gul'dan. Just from personal experience, I have a 100% win rate with them, especially on Braxis. So this is a map where if I see it, I want to pick Gul'dan. I think he's stupidly good on this map. Definitely, I think an S tier pick. Moves up high in the tier list for me.
Yeah, it's pretty strong now. Diful's moving in to that Gul'dan. So not going to be able to see him make kind of the hyper burst plays, but I can't wait to see what he does with Horrify. He played so well. Once again, you got Waffle on the Sonya, too, so you can't seem to go wrong with that. Be interesting to see. I'll be interested to see if they go Leap or Wrath here. One of the things I kind of want to go back to that Zagara Sonya thing. The thing is, when I see a Zagara in a solo lane, like my first thought tends to be Sonya, just because if you can get on top of Zagara, you can kill it so fast, but also you can actually step up and Whirlwind into all of her creep. So that's why I was surprised by the Zagara pick. But again, if they're able to kind of do like a 4-1 with the Zagara just being, you know, very harassing, and with the 4-man being able to rotate for picks, I think it could work out well. But let's see how it goes. Over here on the left, we have Winston, Churchill's Manatees looking to draw the series up. Slytherin going to be on Jaina, Grover on Stukov, Nathan on Maiev, K-Wolf 55 on Diablo, and Cheekies on Zagara. Starting from the bottom, introduce our current team up 1-0, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Well, we've got Egg Rolls 1, 2, 3 rolling out the Hanzo. We've got Old Pro here on Garrosh. We've got Beakle, or whatever we'd like to call him, on Bickle on Malfurion, and Difools on Gul'dan, followed by Waffle on his standard from last game. Really showed off. Sonya rolling out up in the top lane as a solo.
And not the least surprising talent choice of all time has been selected. Devil's Due for Diablo on Brax's Holdout. What a surprise.
Shocking, truly.
But going with Redemption, we actually saw an explosive arrow build from Hanzo on the Latch match, which again, it's Infernal Shrines, you want the Shrine clear, totally get, but I like the Redemption really big into Diablo. It's just gonna chunk so hard.
And it still opens up for the explosive at level 4 too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say that tends to be the standard talent pick after Redemption most of the time, just because of the wave clear that provides. And it is a Q build from Gul'dan.
Getting so much value off this level 1 talent.
He is, but Old Pro getting separated out by Maiev. Is it going to be a 1-for-1 trade? The Silence going to secure the kill onto Garrosh. Stukov will be a little bit better healing early in the game than Malfurion will be in most situations. So they're going to recover quickly from that 1-for-1 trade better. So I'm actually okay with it.
And Cheekies is actually faring pretty well against the...
Ooh, but Difools gets caught out as soon as I go up to check top lane. T-Tors, that's exactly how that happens every time.
Well, I mean, with Maiev, you can never take your eye off the screen, even for just a second. She'll appear out of nowhere.
But I'm really liking this. This is a Winston Churchill Manatees that ain't scared. They're playing aggressively. You've seen Diablo go in, you've seen Maiev go in, and they're not afraid to focus Garrosh and combo him with a good stun there and just continue to pressure. I like this. Winston Churchill Manatees stepping up. They're already at 50% beacon progress, forcing Gul'dan to rotate top into the Zagara. But that's going to let them push here in bottom with this Jaina and Maiev.
I mean, Diablo, Maiev, this is Malfurion's an easy pick here. Hanzo's an easy pick.
That said, the Redemption damage. I mean, my goodness, already at 8,000 damage and counting. Gul'dan starting the long walk back down towards bottom. Trying to cap that while they have Sonya with the advantage up top. Maiev actually going to rotate top. Let's see how long K-Wolf holds this. It's a bit risky to stay here too long. Yeah, they aren't just going to back up immediately, but they're not going to give any beacon progress. So it's a good trade.
I really like how Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club is playing. I don't know if you've noticed, but as far as Diablo goes, he's not really been given an angle for his stun. They've played it pretty safe against the walls, so props to them right now.
I think I only saw one wall stun. That was the kind of when they dove a Garrosh, and if like you're diving a Garrosh, you know, you're taking a lot of poke damage. But yeah, otherwise they're, you know, that's how you play against Diablo. Just be good at geometry. And if you're playing Hanzo, you're probably good at geometry. Maiev.
It's so simple. It's just simple.
2v2 up top. Maiev gonna move into the point, getting on to Sonya. Here comes Zagara on the flank, trying to get on to Difools. Difools a bit low, pulling Sonya away from the point. Beacon progress now in favor, though, of Sergeant Pepper. Maiev gonna get on neutralize.
I think we're beginning to see this played out in the advantage. We're making Maiev forced to be full top, and that loses a lot of kill pressure here for Walrus is down bottom. So I think that they're going to maintain the point here, and Hanzo is just going to be doing what Hanzo's done this entire game. Just shred them down little by little.
Yeah, but Maiev has been able to rotate down faster than Gul'dan. Now here comes the tether. Once again onto Goldberg. And actually that was a very good wall stun. And now K-Wolf, though, going to eat so much poison damage and going to drop. Gul'dan starting to add to this chunking damage as well. And, you know, Diablo, when he goes in, I mean, he's in. And that was a situation where, you know, yeah, you got the stun onto Garrosh, but he's still Garrosh. He's very, very difficult to finish off. And they weren't able to get the kill before Diablo went down.
Sonya, you're right. Sonya's now finally able to take it up top. And in the 1v1, Zagara isn't able to pull ahead here.
Nope. Yeah, Waffle doing quite well, but still, an Ultralisk up in this top lane. So it's not something you can ignore. With the Zagara, it will still be good damage. You do have the Jaina down here who can clear things up pretty quickly. If Maev's able to get some Fan of Knives procs, can burn it as well, but they don't have the best single target damage for these Ultralisk, and that's really where the threat lies. Ultralisk,
they just have to move through so much damage, dude. Gul'dan's just tearing them apart right now.
Yeah, Gul'dan can really pressure a wave here, especially with that Q build. Already halfway done with the stacks, too. Level 7 is up for both teams at the moment. And actually, he is a Stuke off after my own heart. He went... Oh, no, he went long pitch. I was thinking it was target excision for a second. Surprised, but long pitch. I get it, though. It makes sense. You're having trouble engaging, so you can use long pitch in order to set up Diablo to go for the flip.
Which I think means for us we're going to see that snare at level 13 for sure.
Yeah. Interesting. Bile drop coming in from Zagara. That is confidence in that skill shot that I've personally never had. But I'm hoping that Cheeky's proves that it's easy, bro. It's easy.
I've heard people honestly not take the quest just for the completion, but Glogan actually mentions that it still increases the raw damage of the
right. It does do that. Yeah.
Drop, so it still does a really fast wave with Bile drop.
Yep.
Oh, looks like we need to. I don't mean to comment, DVD, but it looks like the overlay may need a little bit of a correction here.
Oh, are we on the wrong? Yes, we are. Thank you for catching that.
Maybe too little, too late.
Yeah. No, it's You can see what was on the right-hand side. Okay. Anyway,
Now, honestly, looking to slow push with this wave bottom, I honestly think at this time it's just time to play exactly with... Oh, but Hanzo getting caught out. Will he escape? The root lands. Maiev isn't able to pick him off, and it's just back to poke damage. Actually, Stukov
does go down. And what lead they had early has quickly faded on the side of Winston, Churchill, Manatees. Difools is a bit low, but going to be able to survive. Nathan does squeak on out of there. But without a support to allow them to turn around, this could be a fort going down fairly early. Ooh, Jaina taking a lot of damage. Now Poison dodges the Q, is still alive. Stepping back up, trying to get onto Eggroll. Eggroll gets out with less than 100 health. Is going to survive. Meanwhile, Zagara pushing in top with this Bruiser camp onto Waffle. Waffle having a hard time stepping up at the moment, but it is going to be a fort coming down here. Ooh, Bickle taking fort damage directly. Minions just weren't up in time. Now Fan of Knives, there's a reset. 2 resets there on Fan of Knives. Did quite a bit. And now here's the tether, pulling Garrosh back into the silence. Diablo trying to go for the charge. Doesn't manage to combo up flip. There's the big Horrify. Insta-locked at 10, though. Going to be able to save Old Pro for now.
Just as you said, you're really looking for Difools to pull that fear, and right there, I think that was a picture-perfect fear right there. Killed off all 4 enemies, left Garrosh to just happily walk away from that situation.
Yep, and with that, we do have Looking at the ultimates, it is Dragon's Arrow, Twilight Dream, Warlord Challenge, Horrify Leap, so a lot of wombo potential, which we know they can do that from the last game. But there it is, Apox, Warden Cage, Ring of Frost. Now, and the Nidus Network. So gonna try to wombo a couple picks up. In fact, they're setting up a bush now. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Could this be it?
Got
the Warden's
scouted
Cage
out.
come out here?
Ooh, but there's the Warden's Cage, and it finds Malfurion into the Apoc. There's the silence, and Malfurion goes down. Ooh, a good stun on the Garrosh on the flip. That might be enough to secure the kill. Nope. Fan of Knives just barely missing, and now K-Wolf gonna drop to the towers. Flailing Swipe, not able to save it. My goodness.
That's just nail biting right there. There's just back and forth here. They both have the ability to pull the trigger and make a kill happen here. And honestly, Maev played that so well with Warden's Cage. Now we're going to see another fight probably break out top here. Is Hanzo going to get caught? Nope, just trade it out as per usual per Hanzo players.
Yep. So Beacon progress going to be picked up here by Winston Churchill Manatees. Up to 60%. Last time they got up to about 50. Here they're going to get about 68% before bottom gets cat. Blinks in but doesn't commit. Team had to back up. Good choice. Trying to get onto Hanzo. There's the flip. Hanzo gonna be able to use the trade over the wall, but the Ring of Frost absolutely connects, doing so much damage. Now Old Pro getting pulled back, and this is the Winston Churchill Manatees. I remember scrimming. Just the combo potential is insane. Flipping onto Garrosh. Can they get the kill? They don't, but it doesn't matter because that was 2 huge kills. Going to allow them to channel the point. It's going to be 100% Beacon progress on the bottom. Sonya, though, going in for the leap, trying to get on the Cheekies. Is Cheekies going to drop to the slam? He does. Couldn't get away. Maybe if Cheekies just kept running down rather than trying to get back to the gate, I think the speed boost may have gotten out.
You can't run
it's
once
tough
the
to call.
leaps on you. I've played way too much Dungeons and Dragons to know that. It's over as soon as you're leaped on. It's done. But I think this is just an answer. Manatee's just saying, hey, you run kill comms, we can run it just as good as you can. We have the execution, we have the coordination, and I think they're pulling a full momentum swing here and putting this game right back into the... Oh, Malfurion
onto Malfurion, but there's a flip onto Diablo, trying to separate him out. There's a big silence into the taunt. Maev went in to try to set up something, but with Diablo down, it's just a full retreat, and that was 100 souls. Now Grover is done. Now that was souls for Diablo, so he's back up, but no longer with all that beefy HP, and no longer, I think more importantly, with the regen globe power. Because of Devil's Due. Gonna need to find a way to get those souls back. On a 2-lane map, that can take some time.
It's just looking to be... Now, Cheeky's not able to put him on the same amount of pressure. I think with Leap now, and Sonya still has it up, the kill pressure's there. It's really hard to, just boldly force out.
There's the Ancient Spear. Here's the Slam. Cheeky's in a bit of trouble. There's the Leap, cutting off the escape route. Cheeky's gonna try to power through, but still goes down. Waffle just 1v1ing like a pro, but down here on the bottom, Twilight Dream onto Malfurion. There's the Warden's Cage trying to lock it in. Oh my goodness, Garrosh just saved Malfurion. And actually, now they may be able to turn this around. K-Wolf goes down. Old Pro does go down, but the Ring of Frost is absolutely huge and secures 4 kills. Oh my goodness, that was absolutely worth, because now you have a huge Zerg wave, and there's going to be no one to defend it. Sonya alone up top. They're going to have to go up to defend. They are going to lose top fort most likely. But what an absolutely killer Ring of Frost.
It must be chilly right now for Sgt. Pepper's Home Lonely Hearts Club. Absolutely beautiful ring. That was picturesque. I mean, instant catch, instant blow up, no reply from them. And now what could have been a potential keep here with the size of the Zerg wave is now turned into the favor where we may see a wall bottom side come out for Manatees here.
Yeah. I think the walls will be fine. Just, at this point, most of the damage is dealt with. But top fort will go down here. And now this game's basically equalized on experience. And, credit Winston Churchill's Manatees. They played that really well. And I do want to say, I actually thought Garrosh made a great play there. It's just the Ring of Frost undid everything. Garrosh almost allowed that fight to be turned around hard. Both teams losing a 4-star.
So loud before you can change things. Unfortunately, I don't think you can yell louder than Ice can freeze your entire
Well, it was good
game.
for him to go in and off the ice block, throw Malfurion out of the Warden's Cage before it kicked. It's just, ultimately, when a Ring of Frost is that good, I mean, when it hits 4, you're done. Both teams just slowly working their camps. We're going to take a brief look at the damage. Hanzo has been surpassed by Gul'dan as that AoE damage has started to kick in. Meanwhile, though, that Stukov throughput higher than the Malfurion. We are seeing Malfurion healing a little bit less due to those baseline nerfs, but, you know, really with him, it's more about the playmaking off the Twilight Dream, off the roots, and then that Bickle has done fairly well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it gets scary. We're about to hit 16s now for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, and really, what I'm looking out for is the Rampant Hellfire. That
Oh my goodness! I can't. Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous. Especially with the fact that, you know, you have the Maiev and Diablo are both gonna have to position aggressively, very reliable to hit those targets. Gonna push up into it. 16 from both teams. And actually, Diablo looking for the combo potential on these narrow choke points, going with the domination.
Going for that bam slam town here. I mean, with if you follow with both hits in the walls, complete the level 13 quest, you will kill anyone. As Diablo becomes an assassin at that point as a tank. It's crazy.
Yeah. Let me clear up the top. Now, I do want to note Super Strain, the choice by Stukov over Pox Populi. So really worried about that stun potential. Trying to get the Super Strain to help deal with it. And I like the choice, I'll be honest. Well, also the root. Also the root from Malfurion, yeah.
Everything else, I mean, it's a pretty scary day to not have the burst healing that some other supports can offer.
Yeah. I mean, I love Super Strain. Oop, quiet, shh, quiet, shh. Oh my gosh! The fight's starting. Taunt onto Diablo. They are focusing Diablo. Diablo does get thrown out. He drops the APOC before he goes, and that may actually seal the fate of Garage, who gets silenced. Bickle a little bit low. And now Gul'dan goes down, and Egg Rolls, oh, he tries the Hanzo on out, but what a great grab by Nathan. And the gankers have become the ganked, as Nathan securing the kill there. 3-for-1 trade, and now they move straight into a boss. I like this decision. If they can execute, Nathan's already a little bit low, though.
Dukov is not aware that Maiev and Jaina are going to need some assistance here to be able to...
Yeah, Jaina taking it for now. Well, they were making sure Stukov channeled the point, so I can respect it. Now, with Stukov here, they should be okay. They did have Zagara's Bile there to tank the shots. So yeah, it worked out really well. And actually, I think that was perfectly played now. People got low, but so what? Like, you got the boss and you're getting beacon progress. And you're going to get a 100 Zerg wave on top, and guess where boss is going?
Right to top lane. Now this could spell the end here for this game. Slytherin might be able to eke out the win. Honestly, this Jaina play has just been mind-blowing right from the get-go. Kept them in the game, done so much damage, and I'm just looking for that.
Hanzo needs to be careful, and he's going to get silenced and rooted, and he is done. Yeah, a little bit out of position there, and with that Stukov and Jaina root potential off the Numbing Blast, you just don't want to muck around with it. Now with no Hanzo, this defense is going to be very challenging. Yes, you have Hellfire Gul'dan, but with all the silences coming out, it's hard for him to consistently do that damage.
And unlike Hanzo, Gul'dan doesn't have a flip. He can't get out of the Maiev. If he gets caught by Maiev, it spells game over for them.
Yeah. With also, there's the keep down, and 2 Ultralisks still very healthy. A boss still about half health. Wouldn't say very healthy. Hanzo not going to be up for 10. This is do or die time. They need a really big Horrify. There's the Warden's Cage. Twilight Dream only catches 1. Garage is going to drop here to the silence. And Gul'dan going to follow. And that, is Nathan going to go down? Nathan is going to drop to the Sonya. Ring of Frost comes out. It is a whiff ski, but it's not going to matter because Winston, Churchill, Manatees, they said, yeah, we got embarrassed game 1. But we came back. We came back. And a fantastic draw. I mean, I'm really happy with Winston Churchill Manatee coming back there. They're one of our veteran teams in NGS, so it's good to see them not get rattled, show that experience to buckle down and say, hey guys, it's a 2-game series, and we're going to win game number 2.
I think we can say for both teams, they have exceptional range carry players coming out from Diefools and Slytherin. Both of them played exceptional this game, and especially game 1 for Diefools. And honestly, with these two contenders, I mean, I hate to say it, they put the teams on the back and really pulled through. And I'd like to see what they can do for the rest of the tournament. They may get banned out. They may get specifically targeted because that was scary. I'm scared. I'm sweating in my seat right now.
Yeah, it was fun set to watch. We're going to take a brief break, see if we can get a brief interview with the members of Winston Churchill Manatees. So we'll be right back after a brief break. All right, and we are back. We're joined by the captain of the Winston Churchill Manatees, K-Wolf 55. K-Wolf 55, after that game number 2, how you feeling?
Feeling great, man. Feeling super duper great.
Yeah, it was a very, very good game 5. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, we came together. We talked about it in between the game. We understood what we need to do. They kind of bushed us around a lot in the first game, and we said we need to fight back. We need to get something going. We need something to kill. That's what we really needed. So that's why we picked that up. I get on my on Nate. Nate was great on it.
Nate really made plays there. Go ahead, Decade.
I was just going to say, coming from game 1, we saw a composition that was looking a little bit more for a poke, a little bit more, slowly whittling down the enemy. And from now, we've just seen a total turn of a composition. And you could show that, hey, we can play the exact same composition and just as pull out as many kills. I mean, what kind of, planning goes into being able to have that diversity, being able to play 2 completely different types of compositions?
It's all down to the people that are on the team with us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We can play. We should be playing more of an aggressive style. That's the style we succeed in, as you saw. So, I mean, everybody on that team loves playing aggressive style, playing up in their face, making them make the bad decisions for them to lose the game.
Yeah, I kind of commented on that. I was talking to Deca with this. I actually had scrimmed your team before. With the team I was on previously, and when you guys were aggressive, that was when you absolutely excelled. You had really good combos, and I was glad to see you go back to that style in game number 2. It was really, really strong.
Yeah. See, this season, we actually had to drop 3 players, and we had to pick up 3 new players. So the only 2 remaining for the previous season were me and Grover.
Right.
So for the starting 5. I mean, that really sucks. Can't keep the thrive going. But this season, people better look out. We got a lot of good talent on this team.
Yeah, speaking of good talent, I mean, tell us a little bit about the new talent that you picked up. Where did you manage to find some of these players, and decide to kind of forge this new team for the season?
We know Cheekies personally, so that was something that we were talking about as soon as the other people quit. We were talking about them. We were seeing where she wanted to get down and get dirty, get her hands dirty, as I like to say, playing a lot. Nate and Sylv, we got them through the free agents. We tried them out a little bit, see how they work, see if they match our play style, and they 100% do. So
I think that just goes to show never don't look in the free agent section of the Discord here. I mean, heck, talent like this can come out of absolutely nowhere, unexpected places.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a curveball at you. So we've talked a bit about your team. Let's talk a bit about the team you played. I mean, they obviously just executed people in game number 1, and they had some pretty good fights in game number 2. That was not a stomp by any means. Which player on their team would you most compliment after tonight?
Their tracer player from the first game was the one that annoyed me, and he also played the Goldan. So he was their recent pickup. I forget what his name was, but he was the recent pickup. Yeah. He was pretty good. The garage wasn't that bad either. He knew what to do. So I really enjoyed both really playing against them. They were good games.
All right.
Well, hopefully we see a playoffs with you two. I mean, that's definitely a fun game to watch. I had fun watching these 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
With that in mind, what are your expectations here? I mean, there's a lot of new teams in NGS this season, so it's very difficult to predict. But what are your goals this season, if you have them, or if you're still trying to feel out now that you're in Division B?
Last season it was make playoffs. So we made playoffs. We beat the first round in the semis, and we lost in our divisional finals. This year, I want to win the whole thing. I want to be division champions. I want everyone to know who the Winston Churchill Manatees are. So that's my goal, and I'm pretty sure that's everyone else's goal as well.
I mean, I'll say that, the way, just knowing what you have to put in to be a captain of a team. I mean, you guys improved tremendously in Season 3 from the start of the season to the end. Probably one of the most improved teams, in my opinion, in Division C. So I think if you guys can keep that same work ethic and you keep leading the team like you have, I actually think you can definitely do it. With that, any shout-outs?
I want to give a big shout-out to the man upstairs. I know he's watching down on us, Winston Churchill. They're always with us and in our hearts. Want to shout out the previous players he's played on this team, Foundriff, Deer, and Locke. We miss you guys. Wish you all the best. And we're going to keep on trucking. Don't sleep on us. That's all I got to say.
Can't stop, won't stop. I'm definitely going to be awake at night tonight after watching games.
Well, we are going to be awake because we have another game here in 30 minutes. Going to come back, Division A action, kicking it up a notch. Going to be Dunning-Kruger Knights, who are actually live now, live on Gravesville channel, so twitch.tv/Gravesville, if you want to check that out. But come back at 11:30 as they take on Team Maroon. We'll see you then, and we'll be right back. Thanks for watching.